same time, where did that other army go? Oh man. Here's Red's army, Iron Man. And where was Blue? Oh yeah, that's right. They're wreaking havoc on my base. That's great. So they basically pretty much wiped me out here with a good. This is a pretty effective drop. They had Vikings to protect the medivacs and Marines inside of the medivacs to drop them drop them somewhere, and pretty much just annihilate my base. What I should have done here, that I, now that I think about it, I should have done better, is to lift these buildings up and fly them away. But they would have just chased them down, and the Vikings would have been around at that time. So I decided, well, we're just going to trade bases. At the same time, I moved all my SCVs from that line up here. We're going to start, if you notice, I have a humongous amount of minerals because I've been mining off of 2 bases with the same amount of buildings. So I've been just pretty much just saving up resources. Pretty soon you're going to see me expand up there while I'm fighting here. So we parked the siege tanks outside. We know that their army is attacking Buccinator's base now. He basically took care of that that base up there to eradicate Red, and then I was gonna take care of his main base with my main army. So that way we can knock out one of the players. At least that's the thought strategy that I was going through. We don't really communicate too much while we're fighting and stuff, but we definitely have like a connection, a general connection as to what we're doing. This guy runs his probes up here. Not much going on. So this army is wreaking havoc on his base, as you can tell. It's just brutal. Man, there's just no. They have like no defense down. Yeah, Buccinator's got no defense down here. I should probably be helping him out, really, because I could probably take out both of these armies combined. But instead, I decided to take out Red fully. And I'm not sure why I didn't kill these probes. I guess I didn't notice them. But so Buccinator's probes are transferring up to his now new main. I've got my new main here. With all the money that I had, I'm just rebuilding all my buildings. I should really have taken these buildings up, but this is pretty much my biggest mistake in this game, is not moving these buildings and sacrificing them to these things. These Colossus are going to start wreaking havoc on my SCVs. I should move them up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm actually attacking them down here, so my attention's a little bit distracted. And all the while, he's just having a field day with my SCVs over here. But that's alright. We're having a field day on another main base, which is, I think, a better exchange. I could stand to lose a couple SCVs while I'm taking down a full base. These probes are not moving. Red is pretty much out of this game, as you can see. Let's go to his army size tab. He's at 26, and he's got no income. He's got a couple probes, but it's not much he can do with just a couple army units that I can replenish by just getting up another expansion up. All these buildings. See, this is what I was talking about. Because my attention was distracted down here, I was too busy taking care of this base. They're just shooting my buildings, but these Colossus wouldn't have been able to take care of these buildings if they were just up in the air, so that's just something to keep in mind. Then again, let's look at the micro, the APM here. My APM's at 74, which is not too much, but then again, I don't APM spam. I don't, right click a billion times and do stuff. So this 74 is a pretty legit number there. I'm, kind of doing a lot. They pulled out Banshees, and they killed my Marines, the last remaining Marines that I had. So I'm actually going to lose a couple of siege tanks, and I was sending some reinforcements down that I had been building up from up here of Marines, so that we can pretty much send some sacrificial Marines down here to take care of these Banshees while my siege tanks get away, because they're completely useless against Banshees. So we left this stuff over here. Probably shouldn't have, but there's not really much we could do against Banshees. I didn't want to lose all my tanks, so it was better just to pull back for the time being. Looks like Buccinator's probe is hidden there by the column there. He's got Iron Man's got 3 Colossus coming up to Buccinator's new base, man. Jesus, like, talk about harassment with those Colossus. They have more than paid for themselves. 20 kills, 21 kills. Each one, that each of these 3 units has 20 kills. That's over 60 units. They have more than paid for themselves. So leaving these things alive for as long as they did was definitely a big mistake on our part. But we just pretty much traded bases from the bottom right to the top right. I had so much money that I just rebuilt everything. Pretty soon, I still have so much money actually. Pretty soon I'm going to pull off a bunch of SCVs to an army of SCVs pretty much to start rebuilding my supplies. Because as you can tell, I am at 59 out of 59. I'm not going any higher there. So, oh, what am I doing here? Okay. So anyways, they pulled back because I pretty much parked my tanks next to these buildings. They're pretty spread open, so those Colossus were not going to be able to do much. He's finally got a Nexus going, Iron Man, the red Protoss player. This bottom base has been fully mined out, pretty much with the exception of 5 remaining minerals. Wow, that's pretty shitty. Looks like he's only got the Terran Infantry level 1 upgrade for attack. Probes moving down here probably to this base to help some level of saturation when it's completed. And these Colossus are going to start harassing my buildings up here. I cannot believe these things are still alive. Holy crap. Talk about big mistakes. So this is the army of SCVs that I was talking about. 4 SCVs trying to build 4 supply depots at a time. These things have the thermal Lancet upgrade, I believe. Yeah, they do. So they have the attack range of 9. And these Marines are completely useless against it because they're just going to keep backing up. So we decide to leave them back here. I unsiege my tanks from his buildings because his base is now safe. He's got his own units to protect it with, and I'm going to park my tanks up here. Meanwhile, Buccinator pretty much pushes them into my base, and my tanks, I should have had my units come up here, but these 3 tanks are more than enough to handle the Colossus that are right there. There's 2 Banshees here. The 2 Banshees that pretty much were able to push back my attack earlier from the blue base have now come to my base to try to harass while being invisible. I need to note that if you're being shot at while you're invisible, there's no point to being invisible, so just uncloak them and fly them elsewhere, because then you'll forget and leave them standing here, and see, there you go, you're just wasting energy. Meanwhile, they could be regenerating energy. You know, Banshees could be pretty crucial at a certain point. So looks like Buccinator's coming up here to do a counterattack to what just happened, the 2 Colossus attacking our bases. In the meantime, I am amassing a pretty, formidable force of my own, while he's pretty much keeping them distracted. I guess I'm pretty much the cleanup guy for this game because he does the main attack and then I'll just follow it up and finish them off. So this battle up here, this little mini micro battle was actually a pretty good selection. Let's go back here for a second. It's worth pointing out what just happened. Let's speed it up. So we've got Stalkers, Zealots, or Zealots. Notice he first takes out the SCVs so that they can't repair this thing. Then he's going to take out the Banshees because they actually do a pretty good amount of damage, 12 damage. And then the next thing he takes out is the Medivac. So that's some pretty good focus firing there on his part, because a lot of players just pretty much do attack A or attack the area and pretty much just let the units attack whatever they want, and that's not necessarily the best thing sometimes. That's just something to point out. So he's going to go attack Blue's now main base because this is just now nothing. And I am going to follow it up with a pretty scary army. I'm saying fun, because yes it is. And Buccinator's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he agrees. He definitely likes these long games that pretty much the longer the game gets, the more of an advantage Buccinator gets, because his micro is just insane and mine is not. Though right now he doesn't have that much stuff to micro, that's why his APM is a little lower than mine, but what can I say? So we're going to do the same thing I did earlier. Pretty much my strategy never changed throughout the entire game. This isn't a pro level game obviously, but what can you do? I thought it was pretty fun. Siege tanks, mass siege tanks, and pretty much mass marines with a couple of marauders thrown in there. Blue never stood a chance against both of our armies. We knocked out Red when he attacked him on the top left corner, and I attacked him on the bottom left corner. We pretty much wiped him out simultaneously and kept him out of the game for long enough to let us rebuild our forces and then go take out Blue. So as you can see, he had one expansion that looks like it was almost fully saturated, and another expansion. Oh, hi, is online. Okay, looks like another expansion is pretty much not even saturated yet. There's nothing going on here. But let's see. Buccinator is actually expanding again to my expansion. This is probably not the best idea. Oh boy. He says, oh hi. This is probably not the best idea. Since I had been using this, he could have actually just gone for his natural right here that it was completely new. Look at this, 1500 compared to, you know, 745. Although at this point it doesn't really make any difference, but had the game gone any longer, it would have probably been wise to just grab the one with more minerals, especially because you can defend it from these upper cliffs with colossus and tanks and stuff that I had available. So, anyways, that was a pretty good game, I thought. So hope if you guys have stuck with me this far, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.